What is up, everybody? Welcome. It's your boy Techneex. So we got something, a little bit of variety. Like I said, our channel is a demented channel for fighting game community enthusiasts, of course, music enthusiasts, and of course, art enthusiasts. So we got a little bit of everything. And today, that is right, today we have to bring the god of rap himself. That is right. I'll hype his ass up. I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't give a fuck who you think you are, you young ass motherfucker. I don't care about your fucking opinion. Respect Rap God. It's just that simple. Respect Rap God. If you don't want to respect Rap God, then listen to this fucking album and respect him yourself anyway, because this album, I listen, every album he's dropped has been raw. It's been good. It's been great. I can't say every single one of his albums has been a classic, because a classic would mean that you could play it from front to back. And honestly, lyrics to be murdered by, or music to be murdered by, what I always forget what is the first word anyway. Part two, there's quite a few tracks that are good, but I just can't like sit there from front to back and listen to it completely. Not saying that it's a bad album. It's just like I get overstimulated from like just the first 9 tracks, give and take. You see what I'm saying? Like, so, that's where I take I take those albums into consideration. I don't say that that's a bad thing, because then if I'm listening to it in segments, then I can listen to the other songs and all that good stuff. This is different. This is different. From what I heard, the death of Slim Shady, I let it stew. First of all, I let it stew because everybody and they fucking mother, DJ Academics, we got my boy Rob TV, we got everybody and they fucking mother, Fantano, you name it, trying to go ahead and be the first person to hop on live on every single channel wave and give their opinion, their first live view opinion in regards to the channel or in regards to the album. I would have done that last night, but no. I'm like, nah. That's just competing with shit that doesn't need competition per se. Here we go. Renaissance is the first of the first songs in this album, and let's see what Eminem is talking about. Is that he just do the hawk tour?
Papers, Shady's dangling, a baby tangling, a blanket strangling him, head sharp pain in the heart, aim in a bar chamber that carved names in it. Start spraying it, start raving them beats, start craving it. You're at arm's length, you're in harm's way of it.
All right, let me start by saying this. Let me start by saying this. First and foremost. I don't know what this wigger did. You know, there's a song that he turned around and said. He said this in one of his tracks. He said, "I go and listen to my own albums in order to break my own records." I think that was Take the World, if I'm correct, back in the day, right? He was like, "I listen to my own albums in order so I can understand how to break my own records," right? M is weird because the flow that M has in this particular track right now, this is the best I'm gonna say. The best I'm gonna say for Renaissance. The flow that he has in Renaissance right now is not the flow that you hear from him in any of the last 3 albums. I'm gonna put it like that. Last 4 albums, actually, or 5. 4 or 5, give and take. This is he's saying. I mean, like the word itself is like going like this, right in your face, like legit. The word itself for the title of the song is called Renaissance. It's the best time period. Does that make sense? The best time period. When it says it's the best time period, then that means that you got to go back either to that period or you're in that period, right? And what I'm listening to here is no longer 2018 through 2023 Eminem. I'm listening to a time capsule. When it comes out to it, the way he's rapping right now is giving me that 8 Miles vibe, period. And if you say otherwise, you don't fucking know music. Simple as that. Let's hit the play again. Even the beat instrumental, look. Shenanigans. You want to know how I do it? I can't explain this shit. You want to know how I do it? I can't explain this shit. Now, listen. For a person, I said this in my last Eminem video, and I say it again, over and over again. There's a lot of things that M is not, and one of those things is fake. For a person who grew up in the lifestyle, surrounded by nothing but black folks and by the culture, like, this is by far the word colonizer does not even apply to him in that sense. Like, he's not going out to make every single feature. He's not out there trying to stunt other fucking people's careers or shit like that. He played his game the way he played his game. He just literally went out there, he spat lyrics, he put out songs, he gained his popularity. And then, Eminem is Eminem with his shit that he says. But at the end of the day, again, it says it'd be like, I'm black. Never. Look, look at the logic conundrum. I mean, that's a whole separate video in itself. There are so many niggas that hate Logic because he just can't get away from trying to prove that he's fucking biracial. No one gives a fuck. Bro, no one gives a fuck. Just can't go around the fact that he wants to like say like, hey, hi. So this is happening. I'm black. And I'm like, no one cares, dog. Like, seriously, no one cares. Like, it's okay, man. It's okay. We get it. We fucking get it. That's the epitome of trying to like rub some shit in that like to make people not fuck with you then at that point. If that makes sense. If that makes sense. There's a point where it like you just start saying shit and you continue doing something until it starts rubbing people the wrong fucking way. That's not him. And that's the point of this whole little conversation here with Renaissance. He's always gonna be M, always gonna be that white boy. Stop like the people who called him a colonizer / like hate him because he's in the game and he raps, then y'all tripping on some real shit. Y'all tripping. Y'all gotta stop tripping like that, yo. Respect and acknowledge good fucking talent. As soon as I giving the fuck, I started to celibate. Yeah. All right. So this is the part where he says, well, he's mentioning there's a part where he's mentioning this is the part where things get a little murky for a lot of folks because DJ Academics. This is directly for you, bro. DJ Academics. My guy. I'm a nobody, but I gotta tell you this shit, bro. Like, seriously. Why don't you take your Duang Wong Delilah / Camila Cabello featuring Drake ass, right? And actually do your fucking job, okay? I'm not even gonna talk. I'm gonna talk to you like literally how Drake told Metro Boomin to make some drums, okay? Review the fucking music and do your fucking job the right way, okay? That's it. Don't try to incite some fucking beef that's not even there. Stop putting shit out there that does not fucking exist. Eminem literally states in an entire fucking thing, this is what the audience is saying. He took this shit and put shit out there out of context. The first thing I woke up to was that tweet on my fucking timeline. How you put some shit out there talking about that he's talking about Kendrick or he's beefing with Kendrick. And that's a problem that I have with these fucking bigger YouTubers, is that sometimes they do shit and they do it because they understand that the repercussions of it is going to be a snowball effect. Out of context, on top of that, out of context, because the rest of it literally mentions everybody else's albums. Albums that you know they are greats. That people would now, little kids, 20-year-olds, 25, under 25, literally would disappreciate these albums and these fucking rap artists. And you take one little bit, one screenshot, and take some shit out of context to try to post it up there and try to make it sound like he's coming after fucking Kendrick Lamar. Then you have people that will be in the Kendrick Lamar party that don't understand. Not even talking about the direct party. We're talking about fans that just don't understand. Or matter of fact, they just don't give a fuck about white people or don't give a fuck about Eminem. They're going to just turn around and be like, man, fuck Eminem. Like, without even listening, because of the simple fact that you're out there putting that shit out there. So now these folks' mentality is like, oh, I don't like this guy because he's talking about Kendrick when he's not even talking about Kendrick. So do your fucking job right, dog. Okay, misconstrued information, misunderstood information, and out of context information in order for you to go ahead and get a gain or for you to get some kind of fucking traction, dog. That is the biggest pet peeve of fucking me. And I know a lot of people who have this pet peeve. If I'm seeing you as a fan and this channel were to blow up for the music shit or whatever the case might be, and I ever want to, and you ever say, hey, you want to do a podcast and talk about this shit or whatever, I'll be like, oh, hell no. Hell no. Because you a disingenuous motherfucker. If you taking shit out of context there, what makes me think that you wouldn't like what I say, or me and you don't get along, and then you turn around, he said this. Come on, son. And a lot of people just like fell for that fucking bait. Like, y'all making him easy money. Y'all make motherfuckers easily rich off stupid bait because y'all don't want to do your own fucking homework. Doesn't fucking surprise me. It doesn't surprise me who it's coming from either. I'm just saying, it just doesn't. All right. This song is short though. Here we go.
Shady's new shit is way worse. Everything is either too tame, it is too much anger. I didn't like the beat, so I hated, might delete later. You nerdy freaks would find something wrong with 36 chambers.
See that? What the fuck did he just say? You nerds will find something wrong with 30. You understand that 36, you understand what 30, if you don't know what 36 chambers is, you too young. All right? Let's put it like that. If you don't know what 36 chambers is, you're too young. Every person that he mentioned in that particular bit and such, right, are all well-renowned artists, classic artists, big artists, legendary artists, right? That right now, like I just said in a few minutes ago, anybody under the age of 25 will be like, Oh, ew. They're whack. Well, we said the same thing about Ice Cube and NWA and so on and so forth when we was growing up, and then we started appreciating it as we got older. Not this generation. This generation does not appreciate the older rap game at all. Lyrics mean absolute dog shit to this new generation. If the song doesn't have you ass shaking, it's not a good track. That's the very first checkpoint of any song. The song ain't gonna get no traction by anybody under the age of 22, 21. Literally. Oh, this ain't Ice Spice. Oh, this isn't Future or some shit. And ain't even Future ain't even that hot like that in these past few years. But ultimately, it's catchy songs. It's songs that come and go. Anything that's supposed to stay here for a very long time gets heavily scrutinized as being either too much or quote unquote substance from someone who otherwise shouldn't be trying to spit that kind of substance. Why are you still rapping? Why are you a rapper? And that's kind of like the whole like, well, you got all this substance, but we don't want to listen to it because you don't have a beat behind it that makes me want to sit there and be like, huh. Listen, little Yachty, right? Walk to Poland. That guy, right? He gets an insane amount of fucking views. What's going on is, what happens is the following. The attention span of the current generation and the newest generation is the attention span of a fucking squirrel. Again, if it's not catchy, if it doesn't attract me within the first 10, 15 seconds, I go on to the next video. I'll go on to the next song. Simple as that. That's the best way to simplify it. I don't need to explain much more than that, but that's just the best way to explain it and the best way to simplify it. Take it as it is. If Yachty came out in the 90s, Yachty would not be played, not even in your nearest fucking bodega. I don't care if Yachty feels personally offended by the shit that I say here. If he ends up watching this video in the future or some shit, I don't give a flying fuck, nigga. You have some very good tracks, and I listen to Walk, and I listen to quite a few lyrical tracks that you got out there, the freestyle that you dropped out there, but a lot of your music is trash, dog. If you put your music in the 90s, no, you be one of the fucking dudes that I'm more than likely get my ass beat for even trying to play that shit. Little kids that live with clips for 14 seconds, 15 seconds, and their attention spans are fucked up. And teenagers that their attention spans is also my phone, flick, and shit like that. And young adults. Catchy music like yours. Catchy music like that, like certain drill music and mumble rap music and things like that, get blown up out of proportion. I'm not saying that these folks don't have an audience. I'm not saying that they don't deserve their flowers for the shit that they do when they do their shit right. That's how I looked at that. The same thing like with Juice WRLD. And certain artists like that, like I put Yachty in that same kind of boat because Yachty was kind of making weird noises and shit. All of these folks ended up changing their shit eventually, you know, and actually like rapping and shit like that and doing their thing, and they gotten they've changed it up a little bit from how they were and where they started. Nonetheless, it is what it is. Like I said, you know, there's a lot of folks that will sit there and say this music is trash, and their trajectory started out trash, and and then the majority of old folks will say, I don't listen to this shit, and put it in the 90s against the greatest, against the greats, against Jay, against Nas, against Biggie, Tupac, DMX, you name it. You're not getting played anywhere with music with that kind of fucking music. Yeah, you'd like Grand Blue.
stupid, you ain't gonna get him until your funeral. Wait.
All right, here we go.
Waiting a long time for this shit.
Wait, this is Habits.